I had to relate to a friend of mine the last couple of days my life as a farmer. Now, most of you don't know uh, I was a farmer. It's true. It's true. You know, the bar don't lie. I was a farmer. I lived in Oklahoma, out in what's the name of the town? Oklahoma. It'll come to me. Anyway, I lived out there in Oklahoma, out by Tulsa, and I worked out in the middle of nowhere, and everybody was a farmer, and I thought, well, I'll give farming a little try. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth here. It ain't easy to farm. It's not an easy job. It's not like, the old, hee-haw, where they're all sitting on the porch and they have their corncob pipe and they're on their hammocks. God damn, you're running from night to day until the sun comes up and the sun goes down. Now let me tell you my experience, because I wanted to have a full experience as living a rural life. Maybe I would like it. I'm not a city boy, but I'm certainly a suburban boy. So I rent this trailer. Now, in Oklahoma, you don't rent houses, you don't build houses, and you don't live in houses. If your house don't have wheels on it, you ain't part of the group. My house had wheels on it. So I moved in there with my family, and before they turned the lights on in the house where electricity, we were moving in, there was a friend of mine. He was older than I was. I was probably in my 40s. He must have been 65, 70. And Grover, Grover, that was his name, Grover. Veneta, Oklahoma? Veneta. Anyway, before the lights came on, I noticed that Grover came over one night, and I said, Grover, there seems to be a lot of mice in my house. And he said, oh, really? I said, yeah, man, they're all over. You can see them running everywhere. And I said, I think we ought to go down and get some mouse traps. And he said, well, we don't use a lot of mouse traps here in Oklahoma. I go, what do you do? He goes, well, we have ways of handling that ourselves. I said, oh, could you share that with me? He said, sure. Well, we didn't have any light, and so it was starting to get dark, and we had some kerosene lights. I know how to use a kerosene lantern now, the one where the railroad man is standing by the caboose. I had 2 or 3 of those, so we lit them, and didn't catch the place on fire, and we were sitting on the couch. And I'll be damned if there wasn't 1 or 2 mice that ran right across in front of us. One of them does this to me. I go, you son of a bitch. Anyway, Grover says, you want them gone? And I said, I want them gone. What, poison? How about that old shell strip? They get on the shell, they stick. Anyway, he says, all right. So we're sitting there, and he takes his boots off. I go, maybe that's so the mice, I don't know, don't bite him or whatever. And he's sitting there, and a mouse comes across, the one that gave me the finger. Grover throws his boot at the mouse and kills it. The mouse just laying dead. And throws his finger like this, pointing at me. And how the hell did you do that? Another one runs across, he takes the other boot. Bam! Now there's 2 mice right in front of me, dead. He says, we don't need a trap. I said, it doesn't look like it. Can I try? Take the shoes off. So I'm not anywhere near as good, but I got a couple here and there. So we piled the mice up, and there's the Oklahoma mouse trap. But I learned that situation. Well, I wanted to be more like everybody else, so I bought 10 cows. So I had a herd of cattle. Well, let me tell you something about cattle. I don't know any of this stuff. None of it. I had a pond. I guess it was for water out back. I was on 10 acres, and I had a pond of water out back, and I think that was for the cows to go drink water. Well, I had some stupid cows. They'd get stuck in the pond, and God what's going on? So I go out there, there's the cows stuck in the pond. Now, I mean, this is funny, but a cow is a big animal. I didn't realize how big a cow is until I get next to it. And it kicks me. But then I realize how big that thing is. I don't know, is it 600, 800, 900 pounds? I don't know, but it's big. So I'm out there, pulling on the tail of the cow. I don't have a rope. I don't have anything to run a ranch. I just have common sense. And I didn't have much of that. So I'm pulling on the cow tail. Well, finally I get the cow out of the pond. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a horse. Now, when I was in California being raised, I rode horses a couple of times. I wasn't an ignorant person around a horse. I could bridle them, but saddling them and the knot and everything, I love bareback. I ride good bareback. Just hold on to the mane and a bridle, and that's all I needed. And I was on the ground in about 10 seconds. Anyway, I buy this horse. Now, it's not a young horse, okay, because they're expensive. A horse, God, they can be $1,000 to $10,000. I didn't know that. $50 for a horse, I thought was a good deal. Well, it couldn't see and it couldn't hear. So I have a deaf-mute horse. I don't know all that. The farmer that sold it to me laughed himself all the way into the house, thinking, the city boy he sold a deaf and dumb horse to. Well, I took care of the horse. I put it in the barn, and I had a saddle, and I had a bridle. The horse had one problem. I could take it out, get on it, ride it, bitchin' fun. I loved it. It was all, I was all over town riding my horse in my shorts. I looked like a surfer boy riding a horse in Oklahoma. I didn't know everybody was laughing at me, even the horse. Well, then I would turn the horse to go home. It didn't matter if he was deaf or dumb or blind. I had no control. None. You could whip him, you could hit him, you could yank on the bridle, you could hit him in the head with a saddle. It didn't matter. It was like a racehorse. I've never seen a horse run so fast. I'm going, he's running home, and that's it. I'm just sitting here holding the bastard. Well, the barn door, he could get under. If he ducked his head just a little bit, he could go right into the barn. Well, if you're sitting on his back, you can't get that flat. I'm down, and I'm going, Jesus, make me flat. He didn't. Just like always, Jesus never talks, never did anything for me, and probably laughed himself all to death. Oh, I hit the top of the barn, and I went down hard. Now, I thought I was really hurt. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see for, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. I was kind of unconscious or semi-conscious. The horse is in there eating. In the lane, in the pig shit, in the chicken shit, and the cow shit. That was not a comfortable place to be. So now I'm crawling towards the house because I can't get up. I'm seriously hurt, and I know it. I need to be in a hospital. So anyway, I'm crawling and crawling. Pretty soon, I guess the kids and my wife saw me, and they dragged me up out of the shit and took me in the house. Well, I eventually recovered from that, but I learned on that damn horse not to ride it. So that wasn't a fun thing either. Now I thought, well, I want my herd of cattle to grow. I'm going to buy me a bull, and he'll have sex with the cows, and I'll have little baby cattle, and they'll be worth money. That sounded good on paper. Now let me tell you, a bull is really big. A bull can be about twice as big as a cow. So I get this bull, and I put him in the back with the cows, and it was all fenced in. I had a good fence. It was all fenced in. And I wake up the next morning. I look out. No bull. Someone stole my bull. I don't know. How do you steal a bull? So I go out in the back, and I'm looking along my fence line, and there's a section about 20 feet of fence that's not there. It used to be there yesterday, but it's not there now. And so the cows are too dumb. They usually don't go through the hole in the fence. So I boarded it up a little bit. Now I'm saying, where the fuck is my bull? Now, a bull is a mean animal. It can be mean. I mean, it has an attitude. And I didn't know. Do you put a rope? If you find it, you put a rope on the bull. Well, let me tell you something. You put a rope on a bull, it's like harnessing a freight train. You're just gonna run behind it. That bull is gonna, and he may turn around and step on you. So anyway, I'm saying to Jesus, where the fuck's my bull? How do you go looking for a bull? Do you go to neighbor and knock on the door? Is my bull here? Can I play with my bull? I didn't know how to find my bull. Well, pretty soon, within a couple of hours, the guy drives over to my ranch, and he said, "You missing a bull?" And I said, "Who's asking? Are you the police?" He goes, No. He's just over in my place. He's eating my hay." I said, "Oh, how much do I owe for that?" $50. "Okay. Is there a way you can bring him home?" He goes, "No, that's your job." I go, "Well, on my resume, there's no bull fighting and no bull finding. I don't know how to make him follow me. Do I just say, hey, here, bull, here, bull?" And the farmer's laughing his ass off at me because I'm the city boy. I don't know shit. And he says, "Well, get some food and put it in a bucket. Let him eat a little bit and then start walking and he'll follow you." There you go. That doesn't sound too hard. So I had to walk my bull home. So I'd get him in there. He broke out at least 2 or 3 other times, but at least I knew how to get him back. I'd bring him food. So the bull and the cow thing, I think he was sterile. I never had a baby cow. I don't think his personality fit my cows. So the cow and the bull idea did not work. The bull, he was gone most of the time, and I was paying for someone else's hay to him to eat. And the horse, you never want to ride that kind of a horse. You could die. You could die riding that kind of a horse. Well, anyway, Grover said, "Well, we need to give your cattle a brand in case they get loose, like the bull. They need to be a little bit branded so you can identify your cow." And I've seen Western movies. Oh yeah, Bonanza. I'm Hoss. I'm gonna tattoo my cow. So I said, "How do you do that, Grover?" Because you have to have a cow chute. I didn't know that. Where the cow goes up in the chute, and then the chute squeezes the cow like a s'mores. And the cow can't move, and you can go ahead and brand it. So we took the cows into the barn, one at a time. We chased it all over the barn, trying to catch the son of a bitch. They're big, and they can be dangerous. They can be, an animal jams you against the wall somewhere, and it weighs 4 times what you weigh. You're going to be a little person. So anyway, we would get the cow, and we would jam it up against the wall with a great big 2x4, or plywood, an 6x8 or 6x4 piece of plywood, and we would jam it against the wall, and we'd squeeze the cow so the cow couldn't move. And so I'm holding the board like the cow's trying to get out, and Grover, brands him, and that really makes the cow mad. And when you let them go, hopefully they'll run out of the barn. If they run after you, there's nowhere you can go. Well, anyway, I also bought a Jersey cow. I said, we need some milk and eggs on this ranch. We have lots of turds, but we need milk and eggs. So anyway, I bought this Jersey cow, nice cow, and I said to Grover, "How do you get the milk out?" And he goes, "Well, you have to milk it twice a day." And I said, "That's no fun. 7 days a week? Can you skip a day?" "No." "Well, can you skip night?" "No. You have to milk it in the morning, milk it at night." It's 2 gallons of milk. That's 4 gallons a day from one cow. So anyway, Grover says, "I'll show you how to do it." So he gets this little thing like you see on television, a little bucket pan underneath, and he gets this little stool, and he starts this. And that looked like a lot like me at BYU. Goddamn. He says, "Okay, now that I've already milked out 2 gallons or whatever, I want you to milk it." I said, "No problem. Bart can milk." It's not as easy as you think it is. I'm down there pulling on the tits, which didn't do that much for me, but the milk wasn't coming out. He says, you have to squeeze it and bring it. I said, hey, this is starting to become, more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So I got a little bit of milk in the bucket, and I'm proud of myself. I'm doing good. And pretty soon, the cow lifts its foot and kicks the bucket of milk to Neptune or Pluto. I don't know where it went. I said to Grover, I said, isn't there a rule that cows aren't allowed to kick the milk like that? He goes, no. I said, well, how do I stop the cow from kicking my milk pan? He goes, I don't know. It didn't kick mine. So now the Jersey cow, day and night, Grover came over and milked the cow. They got to have some eggs. Okay, we got some chickens. Now, I didn't know how chickens and eggs work. I don't know. Is a chicken is an egg an unfertilized egg, or is it a fertilized egg? Well, I still don't know. But anyway, they would lay eggs, and we had to have a rooster. And I think the rooster, the male, he was screwing the girls, and they would lay eggs, and then we would, have breakfast. Well, have you ever been chased by a rooster? I have. I kept saying, don't bite me, don't chase me, don't peck on me. Well, roosters kind of do what they want to do. And so the rooster and me, we didn't get along, and so I would lock him in the house at night, the rooster house, and he wasn't very nice. And I said, well, I'm going to get me a nice animal, because now I got 10 acres. I can have, I'm Noah. God, I can have every animal in the world on 10 acres. So I buy a couple of geese, goose or geese, I don't know what you call them, but beautiful, big, white wings and whatever. And they would go around and squawk and, kind of give you an ambience until the son of a bitches chase you. God damn, every animal on the farm chases you. And it's dangerous. You can get hurt. The rooster can peck you. And if you've never been pecked, you don't know, you can be hurt. The goose can bite your balls. That ain't fun. That ain't fun because, and they can run fast. I couldn't even outrun some of these animals. And when the cows came in to eat, I'd ring a bell, and like a dinner bell, and the cows would be way out on the ranch, and they'd come in, they'd hear that bell, they'd come in. You better get the hell up on the fence and get away, because they'll run right over you. Horse knocks me off, nearly kills me. I'm telling you, the farm can be dangerous. Now, there's machines on a farm that are extremely dangerous. Hay balers and other kinds of things. And so the guy next door, he comes over one day to help me, whatever it was, and he has no arm. And I go, lose it in the war? He said, nah, it was last year. I got caught in a hay baler. Shh, it chopped your arm off? Yeah. Well, didn't you sew it back on? He goes, nah, it was all chopped up. I only need one. Jeez. So I'm learning. By the time you're hooking trailers up and they fall on you, jacks fall on you, and the thing about a farm, if it's snowing, you go collect the eggs, you feed the cows. Then I thought, well, I'm not having any luck with the bull. I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's, whatever. So I decided to buy a couple of little cows, and then I would grow them up into big cows. So I bought 3, I think, and I went to the one guy to pick up a cow, a little one, and he said, you have a trailer. I said, no, I don't need a trailer. See, the Bard don't need ordinary shit that can hurt you. How are you gonna take this cow home? And I said, well, I'm gonna put it in the back seat of the car. Jesus Christ. He looks at me and he knows it's a bad idea. But he wanted the money for the cow, so he says, okay, I'll help you lift it in. Well, we got it in the back seat. It barely fit in the back seat of the car. And I had a beautiful SS a Chevy, a 2-door, and the cow's in the back. So I'm driving along, and pretty soon I go, God damn, it smells like shit in here. And I look over, and this little cow has shit all over everywhere. It's all over him, all over the seats, all over the windows. You know what? I see now why they use trailers. It took us days to clean the cow shit out of there. So anyway, I bought 3 little ones like that, and within a week, all 3 of them died. They died. I was feeding them by hand and special food with antibiotics. They have a calf fever, something I didn't know anything about, but anyway, my 3 little ones died. Well, then I decided to sell the herd, the Bonanza herd. So I took it over to the auctioneer, and the auctioneer, it was kind of funny. I was dressed like this, my shorts, my California lifestyle, and I'm over there, guys with no arms, guys with no ears, real cowboys, and they auctioned off my cows at a discount because I didn't know how to take care of them, and mine were a little shabby. I didn't know how to take care of a cow, so I didn't get the best amount of money for that. 3 of them died. The horse, I don't remember what happened to him. The bull, he ran away one day. Fuck it. Let him go. Wherever he goes, he's got a new home. He was gone. So anyway, I finally moved off the ranch, and that was my ranch experience. So I'm telling you, it's not an easy life, and it's hard. Early in the morning till late at night, and shit happens in the middle of the night. You can have a wolf or somebody come into the hen house and eat your hens. Now you don't have any eggs. Your horse, I had one horse that fell into a ditch. Couldn't get out. How do you get a horse out of a ditch? You're pulling on it, and you got to get a crane and wrap it, and it's hard. It's a lot of hard work. I wanted to give it a good try. I think I did it for maybe a year, 2 years maybe. And finally I said, I don't think this is for the Bard. I really don't. So anyway, those of you that are farmers, I used to pick up hay. I had this truck. Oh God, it was an old truck. And I mounted a spike on the back of the truck with hydraulics. And I would go into the hay field, the big round bales of hay, and I'd stab them. And then I'd lift them up, and then I could drive them home. So I've been there, done that. And so I'm telling you, if you want to be a farmer, be my guest, but keep your damn hands away from the balers and the machines there, log splitters, other things that fly. Anyway, Pele Ale. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Don't cut my heart, don't cut my guts, don't cut my anything. Don't cut anything. I don't want to be circumcised. And I hope you have health and navel, marrow, and the bones, strength in the lungs, and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. This is Bard. He's gone.